Hi there and welcome to my local woods. I'm just out here for a hike and I sat down and I thought I would talk about something quite serious. Actually, the end of Western civilization. How will Western civilization end? And I think we're actually witnessing the end of Western civilization as we speak. But before we can get into that, we need to understand why. Why is Western civilization ending? The answer is quite simple. We are not having enough children. So populations that are ethnically European are getting older and older. I understand that I'm getting into dangerous territory here and people will shout racism and so on. But this is not racism, this is mathematics. If you have one part of your population, one ethnic group, and they are not replacing themselves by having enough children, and then you have other ethnic groups coming in increasing numbers, the population as a whole in that country will change. And if those people who come in are not ethnically or culturally European or Western, it's only a matter of time before that country is no longer a Western country or culturally a Western country. Now, when I am talking about Western civilization, I am talking about the European way of life, if you will. European peoples, European cultures, going back to the time of the Germanic tribes, the Celtic tribes, pre-Christian times. A culture and a way of life that was later sort of shaped by Christianity. The way of life that we refer to as Western civilization. And you will find that in places like North America as well, of course. I think in Europe now the number is 1.5, so each woman is having 1.5 children. And we could ask ourselves, why is that? Why are women waiting so long before they have their first child and so on? And I'm sure that there are many reasons, and one of those reasons would be economy. And I'm sure that a lot of people will have their very strong opinions on the why. Why are women not having children earlier and so on? Why are they not having more children? But I will leave that and let's move on to how. How is Western civilization ending? For this part I made some notes. I want to get everything right. I don't want to forget anything here. And on my list here, and I'll just read this to you. This is what I'm observing. Social unrest, abolition of rights like free speech, the breaking apart of the Western family structure, destruction of trust among people in society, economic recession, the destruction of the middle class, and poverty. And the list could be much longer. But if we look at these things I just mentioned here, well, we are witnessing it now. It is happening now. And there are politicians out there who will claim that this is just a temporary thing. I don't think it is. This is something that has been going on for quite some time, and they are very good at blaming factors that they can't control. They first blamed the big cough thing. Let's just use a code word, the big C. And then they blamed Putin, and I'm sure that they will find something else to blame as well. The climate, the changing climate and so on. But this really is the destruction of all the things that made Western civilization great and successful. We had, relatively speaking, social stability within the countries. Now we have social unrest. We had human rights. We had free speech, at least up until big media, big pharma and all that. Now we have the abolition of free speech through censorship and so-called fact-checking on social media and so on. We have the spread of misinformation by those same platforms as the one I'm using now. We had trust, and I think that during the time of lockdowns, that was when trust was broken. No, we have no more trust in governments. We have, and we shouldn't have, and we don't even trust each other. We had economic growth. We had an increasing living standard. Now it's going the opposite direction. We had a strong middle class, and now we are seeing the destruction of the middle class. And we had relatively high living standards, but now more and more people are becoming poor. So all these things that I've mentioned now are trademarks of a dying civilization. Some people would add degeneracy. At least if we look back to, the Roman Empire, it's quite easy to draw some comparisons there. Next comes chaos, riots, wars. Now, of course, the whole thing, the West could end in an instant if our so-called world leaders continue on their path, looking east, demonizing Russia. If they continue down that path, it's going to be very hot very soon. Let's just put it that way. So what can we do about this? I guess some will say, and write in the comments as well, that there is nothing that we can do. We should just lie down and let it happen. I disagree. I also think that hate is not the way to go. I mentioned immigration, and I understand, and I have seen that there are many, many problems because of that, because of the immigration from certain parts of the world. But still, I don't think hate is the way to go. We should rather start with ourselves, build strong communities. If you're a young man, a young woman, try looking into the option that is building a happy, healthy family. Connect with the land. Take pride in your ancestry, your Germanic, Celtic and so on ancestry. You should know who you are and where you come from. We are of this land. Now I'm Norse, so I'm of this land here. Educate yourself. Remain a student, and I always say this, remain a student. And I'm not referring to going to university and be a student. Well, if you want to do that, of course, that's what you should do. But more like remain a student your entire life. Keep reading, keep learning. Skepticism. And I think now that I'll try to be careful here because of censorship, now that the whole big C, the Can I say the word pandemic? Oh, mosquitoes. All of that, it's falling apart. That should be a lesson in skepticism. And of course, I don't have all the answers. And I don't know what's right for you. You know, I said, create a happy, healthy family. I don't know if that's what you want to do. You know, I just wanted to I mentioned that because it is an option. Now I'm changing the subject a little bit. I think I'm hearing a sheep over there, and they have a sheep on the farm there. It's actually a sanctuary for farm animals actually. I think maybe it's gotten lost. It sounds like it's lost now, so I'm going to go hiking that way and see if I can find it and see what's going on. But thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps the channel tremendously if you do that. And I will be back in a few days with a new video. I'll see you then. Bye.